All right. Good morning, guys. Let me know if you can hear me or if there is some difficulty with audio. We are now trying out a new system. We are streaming on YouTube, on Facebook, and on TikTok. So three platforms right now. Um, so that's something we're looking at as a change to our streaming potential here. Let's see what we got here for an advisory. Okay. There's an air quality warning. Interesting. Okay. Well, as I just came on here, we did get an air quality warning. I'm just going to check the exact details of that. I'll explain the reasoning for that too, as well as, of course, how things are trending right now here on the radar. So let's see. The joys of live streams, everything happening as they happen. All right. Let's go to. Okay. So there is an air quality alert. This just came down, an air quality alert in effect for mainly the counties in Fulton, Montgomery County, and areas out toward the capital region due to AQI values over 100, which is not dangerous, but it's enough to warrant an alert for those that are sensitive to particulates in the atmosphere. That does not include us. However, I can just quickly look at the AQI here for our area. And I believe it was over 100 a few moments ago. Or if not yesterday, I believe. All right, come on, weather stations, load up. Yes, we are hovering around the 100 points for the AQI. What does that mean? Well, just again, it means that there are particulates in the atmosphere right now that are pushed down toward the surface. So, if you're wondering why it's that way, well, if you look outside, it's pretty foggy, right? Well, that is due to an atmospheric inversion, which is trapping that fog and in turn pollution near the surface. Inversions are basically where the temperature as you go up warms up. Now, why is that important? Well, in normal circumstances, when air heats up, it starts to rise. But if there is warmer air above that air that's warming, it traps it because warm air is less dense than cold air. So that in turn basically acts as a barrier or a wall, trapping all that pollution and all that fog down near the surface. But enough about the AQI. In fact, air quality alert just got put out on our Storm Tracker 2 app, which you can scan using that QR code there. But anyways, back to what's going on right now. So we are seeing the leading edge of that warm front moving in. And we are telling right now, I can confirm it is producing ice, at least ice pellets, a sleet, some form of wintry mix. We have a report that just came out in Syracuse, a weather spotter there checked it out here too. But also a tool we use in meteorology, the correlation coefficient. We can actually detect the sleet line here. And you can see those brighter yellows right there. That's the sleet line. There's mixing taking place as that warm air shifts north into this cold air pocket that is currently hovering over much of the Adirondacks, Mohawk Valley, and a lot of central New York. So that's what we're tracking right now. We go back to the radar, and of course, as you can see here, it might not show exactly mixing taking place right now in a lot of areas, but it is in Syracuse and now eventually heading the hilltops of Otsego County and at least some of the hilltops in southern Oneida County. So I have got three computers currently running stuff right now, a live stream, a separate stream, and of course this. So I'm going to try to make sure I have the ability to answer your questions here on my phone. So I'm basically just bombarded with a bunch of monitors here. All right, let me set up the live stream comments here. Perfect. Oh, and you guys said you could hear me. Great. Okay, so now I can read what you guys said. So it's right on my phone here. I can see it. So what's trending right now? Well, let's take a look at the bigger picture here. Let's zoom out a little bit. Look at this. This is a rainbow of colors, isn't it? Here, you got sleet, you got freezing rain, you got snow, you got rain. A very picturesque picture here. Now let me change the. Let's see here. Let me change the. There you go, the labels, so you can actually see what each of them mean. Purple is sleet, freezing rain is pink, blue obviously being a snowfall. So as we let's back up a little bit. I'm going to go to the last 4 hours. So let's trend what happened in the last 4 hours. See that warm front moving its way in, and it's starting to collide with that cold air stuck near a lot of those higher elevations, and of course, cold air damming into the Mohawk Valley. Now, if we look at the radar and satellite, which of course shows some frontal boundaries here, we have a stationary front. Basically, you've got cold air right up here. You've got cold air here, and you got warm air to the south. And both of these air masses are trying to push toward each other. The warm air wants to move north, and that cold air wants to move south. And when they both run into each other, well, there's nowhere for that air to go but up. And when it goes up, it releases all the moisture and produces a rain or snow or anything based off of what the temperatures are like near the surface. So if you're wondering about the complexity of the system, well, this pretty much explains it. So we're still looking at that dividing line pretty much along the Mohawk Valley. So far, no major changes. In fact, I'm going to go back here to our radar because this is basically what I was envisioning this system doing. So far, it's panning out as what I've expected. That mixing line or that snow line following that arrow. It's almost as if it's a straight line, which, to be fair, the Mohawk Valley does follow this general path. But nonetheless, so far, it is behaving as intended right now. So let's go into road conditions, which, right now, obviously, let me go back and hide my camera so you guys can see everything. Let me hide this. There we go. So now you guys can see a lot more here. So, well, actually, no, I take that back. I'm going to hide even more. Let's hide all. Now you can see the cameras. So here's a look at a few area roadways here across the Mohawk Valley and even the North Country and Southern Valleys briefly there. And there's still generally some fog we're dealing with right now, but overall, it is not that impactful right now. Still some fog lingering. But I want to show more of these temperatures here because this plays a key role. So you see we're at 35 in Rome, 32 Johnstown, in the 20s up in the North Country. If I zoom in, this is the key here. So basically you see there Inlet 31, Long Lake 31, Otter Lake 33. Ooh, getting a little bit above freezing there. We're at 35, 34 degrees. In any spot you see 34 to 35 degrees, you are in that zone of a wintry mix. 36 is kind of pushing it, but nonetheless, once the snowfall rates increase this afternoon, it's going to do what's called evaporative cooling, basically causing those snowflakes to, as they melt, absorb energy and cool down the atmosphere surrounding it. So that's the case in the Mohawk Valley. Down south, it's even warmer. We're at 38 in Morris. So I would say in the Morris, Norwich area in south, lean more toward a warmer solution, a sleet and freezing rain going to more of a rain event as we head into this afternoon. Travel impacts, this is the timing, everybody. This afternoon, that wintry mix rolls through. Wet snow this evening as that snow line continues to progress. And in fact, we look here on the SkyCast, you can see this move in. So right now, this is what we are going to be expecting by 1 p.m. See that same line I was mentioning before, kind of going right through here, heading south? That's what we're expecting for much of the area by around noontime, 1 p.m. As we head into the 6 o'clock hour, as you can see here, because of all that snowfall, that evaporation, or that melting, I should say, is cooling down the atmosphere. So a lot more snowfall as part of the Mohawk Valley during the later evening. You see here around 5, 6 o'clock. Then as we head to 9, 10 o'clock at night, a few lingering flurries, but a lot of this does begin to end. Then we've got some sunshine tomorrow to start. Clouds will increase, some pretty dense fog in the southern valleys too, by the way. And then following that, it's going to be another snowy solution Friday. I didn't want to not talk about this, guys, because we still have another event arriving Friday that does have some similar impacts. Sleet, freezing rain, and some wet snow early Friday morning, drying up in the afternoon, and then return to some more scattered snow showers and sleety, wet snow as we head into Friday evening. When it comes to our snowfall forecast, I don't like changing our map too much because, this stuff does get shared a lot on social media. And if we just put a whole bunch of random numbers out every few days, it's going to be overwhelming. And I do think we might be in the lower end of this 3 to 6 inch range for snowfall. But either way, I want to focus less on the totals. And these are one of these days, everybody, that anytime we have events like this, I'm going to zoom out so you guys can see more of the map here while I talk about it. Anytime we have events like these, I do just recommend, if you're following forecasts, to not look so much as the amounts of snow as the impact of the snow. Because, for example, if we get 3 to 6 inches of fluffy snow, that's incredibly different than 3 to 6 inches of dense, wet, clumpy snow. This is the snowfall that's heavy to shovel. This is a snow that's slippery, slushy, and even sleety at times with how very close those snowflakes get to sleet, because there's a fine line between big clumpy flakes and the temperature shifts a fraction of a degree, and it goes from those big clumpy flakes to little shards of ice. And then to the point where it's literally melting and then freezing on contact, which would be that freezing rain potential. So you can kind of see this general trend of where everything is setting up today. And when it comes to ice, I mean, we're looking at this data is coming in every couple of hours. So this is raw data you're looking at. This is not interpreted at all. This is not adjusted at all. This is just raw information. And so far, the trend is pretty consistent. This is a Catskill, Otsego, northern Otsego County, southern Herkimer, and Oneida County type situation. Ice, if you thought snow was hard to forecast, ice is even more difficult to forecast. So take this with a grain of salt, as if we're still going to be seeing some form of sleet, freezing rain. It might not be incredibly isolated to this spot, but it lets you know that this is still a possibility. And then the latest model data for snowfall, again, not adjusted, just raw model data here. You can see we're trending a bit lighter on those snowfall amounts because, again, there's going to be a lot of sleet mixing in. There's going to be a lot of snow melt initially, where temperatures are in the mid-30s right now. So that's going to cut down on some of those totals as that snow begins to move in. And then as an early heads up, guys, so again, I'm going to give you guys an early preview of what the models are showing for Friday. This has been varying a lot, but you can see here as we head into Friday night into Saturday morning, we have a good amount of snowfall arriving, but this has been extremely volatile too, with the temperatures right around that 30-degree mark for Friday. So we'll show a lot more of this, especially tonight and tomorrow once this weather today begins to wind down. So I'm going to go back here to the current conditions, and I will be answering questions. I'll be looking at live information right now. Meteorologist James DeFazio will be in a little bit, so he'll be joining me as well as we kind of talk about this too. So we have Olympic coverage on NBC today. So our noon broadcast will be on CBS Utica, but it's only a half hour. So again, if we want to show you stuff, we're going to show you guys here on live stream, or if not on that broadcast. So let's see. Susan goes, we're north in Poland. It's currently 39 at 10:20. Yeah, so we got some warmer air mixing in. And this is what I mean, guys, is there is going to be a huge variation in conditions based off of how these temperatures are behaving right now, because we are basically on the exact midpoint of these two fronts colliding. And in the larger scale side of things, the model's doing a pretty good job. They are roughly estimating where this front's setting up. But when it comes to us, we live right on this line here. So it basically means going from town to town, you'll have drastically different conditions. So this is one of those unique situations where we are right on the boundary. So let's see. Right as I'm doing this, I'm going to look at any new reports coming in. I'm going to track that sleet line. Okay, yeah, so at 9:36 in the morning, there were ice pellets and sleet reported in Syracuse, or at least in the east side of Syracuse. So that is right around here is where that ice was reported. And if I go to the correlation coefficient, we can see that sleet line shifting north. And this is a great opportunity too to help us know what's going on. Send in if you guys are reporting anything in your neck of the woods. This is extremely helpful to let us know where that sleet is, where that snow is, where that rain is, or even freezing rain too. You can email us. You can just say it in the comments here. I have my phone up so you can respond too. But again, if you're just tuning in, we got that sleet line basically just in this zone right here. It'd be hard to see, but you see those brighter yellows? That's that sleet line here across heading north. But it is somewhat remaining pretty stationary. It hasn't, you notice if I go back a couple of hours here, you notice how it's slowly shifting north, and now it's trending more to the east. It's kind of hitting that barrier. You guys see that? There's that barrier right there. And of course, that goes right down the thruway corridor. So let me load up our, let me hide this here. And let me go to our tower cam. Let's see what we got going on here. So you can see, of course, we have a pretty foggy situation outside right now. Trying to see anything falling. Let's go to our Nexus camera in downtown Utica. As you guys can see, they're pretty foggy, but so far does not appear to see anything falling right now. Let's go to Cooperstown. Here's a scene from Cooperstown this morning too. And then let's finally head up to, or head down to Oneonta, where if you ever wonder if it's foggy in Oneonta right now, well, this is your vantage point here. This is from our Hartwick College camera there. So let's see. Priscilla asks, driving conditions in Utica between 1 and 4 p.m. Let's head to our Skycast for that right here. 1 to 4 p.m. Well, I think this is my 5, 6 p.m. You're going to see that transition from a wintry mix to snow. And so it's going to be pretty snowy by the 5 and 6 o'clock hour today, especially in Utica and eastward into the Mohawk Valley. That's where much of that snow is going to be falling. It's a very narrow corridor. So you notice here, well, actually on our snowfall map right here. So the blue indicates where that snow is going to be falling here. You notice up north it says pink, but it also says snow 1 to 3 inches. If you are north of this line here, you're basically only going to see snowfall. If it does fall, that's the thing here. The brunt of the snow actually falls south of you guys. But if you do see anything falling from the sky today, you're looking at more of a snowy situation here. Heading south, this is where the greatest uncertainty lies here. Basically just in the Utica area and south. So let's head back to the radar. Actually, I'll just radar and satellite here. So that's the latest information right now. So far, I'm not seeing anything that is at least highly impactful just yet. And again, if you guys have any reports of snow, sleet, freezing rain, let us know. It'd be very beneficial to see what's going on here across the area and have an understanding of how things are at least impacting, say, for example, roads and whatnot. Thankfully, though, it is winter break, so at least there's not worrisome about schools and everything like that. But either way, I wish there was some better winter weather for a lot of the kids staying home from school this week. But let's see. Anything else to touch upon? We mentioned. Oh, if you're just tuning in right now, air quality alerts are in effect for the Mohawk Valley, Fulton, Montgomery counties, and eastward toward Albany due to this inversion near the surface. That's basically trapping the fog and trapping the pollution at the same time, causing that AQI to reach advisory levels. Excuse me. So let's see. Kristen asks, what time is supposed to start? Need to take my son to Syracuse trying to see the best time to leave. Well, it's actually starting right now. That sleet line has reached Syracuse. I don't think I actually set up my throughway cameras here on this graphic. I did not. But right now, as it progresses throughout the afternoon, let's go to the Skycast here. Let me zoom out a little bit so you guys can see it. This is 1 p.m. Yeah, you've got that narrow line here, and then it will switch over to rain in Syracuse. But of course, that warm air is right on the fringe of Syracuse. And on the way back around 6 p.m., it's going to be a bit more on the snowier side toward Utica. So the earlier the better, basically, is what I do recommend. And I'm going to zoom in some of these temperatures here because I want to keep a close eye on these, especially in the Mohawk Valley and in north. Let's see here. Let me zoom in. I want to cover everything here. So we're at 35. Westmoreland 37. So we got some warmer temperatures right now, and that's going to, of course, erode any chances for at least early snowfall. This is going to fall as a wintry mix initially. So behind the scenes here, I'm looking at some atmospheric soundings. I kind of want to see where that warm air is in the atmosphere. Let's see. Okay, so it is around 900 millibars. Okay, so it is pretty decently up there. And let's see, is it eroding? Yes, okay. So that warm air, the inversion is eroding right now. Actually, it looks like in just west of Syracuse, that warm air already eroded. So now we're seeing some what appears to be colder temperatures already moving its way in. Katrina asks, how is it going to be heading back from Rome around heading from Rome around 3:30, heading back around 5? That's where it really starts to switch over to snowfall. Again, we're not talking a lot of snow, but it's going to be a slushy mix basically. Again, the time frame here, let's go to 5, 6 o'clock right there. Yeah, you can see it's a lot of blue here. All right. All right, I'll check for a few more questions, but after that, for right now, this is our scheduled live stream, and so far things are looking pretty okay. I might leave this up without commentary for now, and then I will return again with potentially meteorologist James Afazio joining with any updates. So, we have a report here. Roger says it's sleeting and rain in Liverpool. Thank you for that report. Appreciate it. Yeah, basically, what I might be doing is I might turn off the camera here and I will leave the live radar on. And then when things start turning a bit more impactful, and of course, when James get here, we'll kind of run down a few more things again. So, if you're just tuning in right now, or if you're going to be watching in a few minutes, I will probably set my return time. Let's see here. I'm going to go to, let's aim for 11 a.m. I'll be back and talk a bit more about how things are changing. But again, if you want a radar to look at, we will have this right here. I'm going to, let me zoom in to the radars area right here. And here we go. So if you're going to still watch and people are going to tune in, if they're asking where I am, well, just tell them I'll be back by 11 o'clock with any updates on this. All right, guys? All right, I'm back now. You guys should be able to hear me. Let's see here. So far, I'm just looking at some sleet lines and everything like that. Let's see. The sleet line is pretty much maintaining a consistent area just south of the Mohawk Valley. 1 second. Let me just remove everything here. And go to the correlation coefficient here. So you see this brighter yellow right here. There's the sleet line right now. As you can see here, it's still remaining mainly just south of the Mohawk Valley for the time being. So any reports of sleets or anything like that, please be sure to let us know here. All right, checking comments here. Okay, we're good. So, yes, so for right now, no major shifts at this point. That sleet line is still remaining here. Again, where I just mentioned here. And when it comes to snowfall, as far as I can see, there are no, at least, ground reports just yet. I'm going to go to our tower cam here, which usually is the first to see some snowfall by any means, but it's just mainly foggy out right now. And that appears to be the common story here. Downtown Utica. Let's head there for the time being. And as far as I can see, nothing is reaching the ground right now. So, again, if you're just tuning in, so far that sleet line is setting up just south of the Mohawk Valley. That snow line is in the Mohawk Valley and a little bit more to the north here, but you can see that collision of those two boundaries, that cold air to the north and warm air to the south. And we're basically right in that middle zone here, causing that mixing to take place. So far, no major shifts. If you did not tune into us earlier, I'll give you guys a brief overview of what we're tracking, and then we'll go back and stand by again unless something else happens suddenly. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to hide our camera here so you guys can see the rest of our graphics. Let's go to the roads. As you can see here, a bit damp. It appears to be raining in Sangerfield. I cannot confirm if it's freezing rain right now, but actually, what I will say is temperatures are a bit warmer down to the south. It's 34 in Hamilton, 38 in Rome. So we got some warmer temperatures here in parts of the Mohawk Valley. This will definitely cut down on snowfall totals today. Up north, right around that freezing point there, and it's going to be cooling down as that cold air works its way south. So we've got a very, very unique setup here directly over us. Heading south, you can see there temperatures, a lot of those locations, at least into the mid to upper 30s, especially heading south of Route 23. Timing-wise, you can see the impacts, wet snow expected for much of the day, much of the afternoon and evening. This early afternoon, more of a wintry mix. And you can see here on our Skycast, we've got that snow band basically forming directly over the Mohawk Valley, turning over to more snowfall as we head into the evening. So again, that cold air, the evaporation of those snowflakes in the atmosphere is going to cause the atmosphere to cool down enough to support more snowfall. And it's going to be difficult for that to accumulate just because with surfaces wet and temperatures this warm right now, it's going to cut down on some of those snowfall totals. So for the time being, still no major changes. I would probably stress more on the lower end of the forecast, around the 3-inch range for snowfall for the areas in blue. A lot less for those areas up north, and then that snow to ice mixture, wintry mix in that pink zone south of the Mohawk Valley. Any updates with our model runs? We should have gotten a new one in unless it hasn't been updated just yet. Let's check our snowfall model output here. And no, pretty consistent here. So this is the way it's been trending. Not as much snow, but it is still enough to cause some slippery surfaces with 2 to 4 inches of snowfall in some of those zones here, and then 4 inches or more in a very narrow corridor in its northeastern Oneida County and central Herkimer County. So that's the latest update right now. Again, no major changes, no major update just yet. So for the time being, this is a look at how the current situation is unfolding here across the area. Feel free to share your current conditions, where you are, your neck of the woods. As I sign off again briefly, meteorologist James DeFazio is on his way, so probably maybe closer to 11:30. I'm thinking we were going to come back on again. If not 11:15, but we'll aim for 11:30. You might pop in ahead of time here, but we'll have more coverage on how things are shaping up for the morning into the early afternoon. Of course, I can't broadcast here as well as on air as well, the way our system works right now. But you can tune into CBS Utica, and we'll have another breakdown here on News Channel 2 at noon. So that's the latest update right now. I will sign off for the time being. I will see you guys, hopefully, with a partner in crime here at 11:30. So stay tuned. There we go. And let's see. Let me just.
I'll slide in. I'll do the Chris Collinsworth.
All right, I have it set to. Let me see if I. Can I do multiple ones or only tracks one? We're trying out the technology here, guys.
Yeah.
Let me turn. Let me go over here. Turn off the live tracking. There we go. I'm just.
Oh, nice. How do you turn it off? Just so I know. Just in case I ever.
I usually flip it down.
Flip it.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
we're doing an on-air production meeting here.
Yeah.
All right, let's see if I can move it. It doesn't like it; just likes to follow your head, James. I want to move it toward me. Over
Even
here.
If I move towards you, it doesn't follow.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to move the thing entirely. If I do this, okay, that works.
Oh, there we go.
All right, then we got both of us here. All right, guys, we've got some updates here regarding the snowfall coming in. I'm going to load up the live comments here too, so we have that. Let's see.
We'll appreciate all ground reports today of what type of precipitation you're seeing. If you have weather stations in your house, it's a day where we would appreciate knowing what the temperature is at your location. So all of that is extremely helpful to us today.
Yes, and again, James just joined me right now. I was here a little bit earlier to give you guys an idea of what's going on, and of course, I mentioned to be going live every about a half hour or so to talk about how things are shaping up. And so let's begin with the sleet line, James. I was tracking it earlier, and I'm using the correlation coefficient here, and it appears I'm looking at the Binghamton radar, which is really helpful right now.
It's very defined on there. It's beautiful. It's actually doing a beautiful job.
Yeah, pretty much right in this corridor here, just south of Utica. That's where that sleet line is. Basically, we can see those brighter yellows and whatnot. That basically indicates where that sleet is. You're mentioning the rainfall too from the Rochester area back this way.
Yes. My sister lives in Victor. She just moved out there, and I was asking her for ground reports because I was curious at what type of precipitation we were looking at. I should say what intensity of precipitation we were looking at, and we're noticing that she's saying it's been very heavy, even though it's been plain rain. You can see on the just south of the Rochester area there, it is showing some yellows.
Look at that.
And some reds. She said it's absolutely downpouring. That's all working in our general direction. It doesn't mean we're necessarily going to see heavy rain. We might see a heavy wintry mix. We're all going to be seeing a little bit of everything, and that's why we're tracking this sleet line as it moves and shifts just a little bit farther northwest and then a little bit farther southwest throughout the day.
And if you're just tuning in, if you haven't seen this earlier, I wanted to give you guys a bit of an idea of what's going on in the atmosphere right now, because we mentioned the complexity about this earlier this week. So you got a lot going on.
We got
a lot going on. So we got this cold air to the north. We got this warm air down here, and they're both kind of pushing toward each other. You got the cold air
in the battleground.
Yep. Cold air wants to move south, and warm air wants to move north. And guess where we are? Right in the middle of it. And when these boundaries collide, you've got two air masses kind of collecting head. Oh, did I just turn on our auto tracking?
You did. That was funny.
Oh, well, it's going to follow your head right now. Let me turn this off again.
I can sit behind you a little bit. And then
look at the technology we have here.
There we go.
It's following me now, I think. Oh, and it's now following. Hey, turn off. Come on. Turn off. There we go. It detects hand movement.
Props to Eric for setting all of these cameras up and the lights, by the way.
Listen, I'm not technologically inclined here.
Yes,
so
he is.
This is.
Let him fool you.
But anyways, back to what I was saying. So we have this battle zone here of temperatures or of air masses, and as it collide, basically, I turn it on again. I can't use my hands.
I'm the one that talks with my hands too much.
I can't use my hands. All right, hold on. All right, one last time. All right, turn off. Okay, here we go. I want to try to use my hands so you guys can see this here.
This is likely going to turn into something similar to a stationary front.
Yes, basically. It's going to be a stationary front. As the air combines, it has nowhere else to go but up. And when it does that, all that lifting causes the rain, causes the snow to fall. And that's the case right now. When you have just the right temperature, that's when you get the snow we're seeing right now. So let's take a look right now back at the radar.
Some of that snow across central and some of the northerly edges of this snowfall is not quite reaching the ground. We do have some virga. The atmosphere is drying up. We're looking at the Nexus cam behind us in Utica. We're still not noticing any precipitation just yet. I don't see anything on the camera. It's very close. We do have reports of rain-snow mix falling in New Hartford, snow falling in Cedarville. So it is getting closer to that Utica line, but northwest of Utica, not quite reaching the ground just yet.
Yep.
Excuse me, northeast of Utica.
Yep, and so right now, the radar scans, what they're trying to say is that there's freezing rain in the hilltops here in the southern valleys.
Do you have the Mesonet up?
I did have it up. It's in a different tab, I believe. Yeah, right there. I had the profiler open.
It's okay if I change it?
Yeah, go ahead. Let's see. It's
getting
marginal.
colder, though. This was 34 an hour ago. Not even.
I'll make the temperature map here so you can kind of see what's going on. So we got...
This is another tool I like to use today, the 3-hour change in temperature, because you can see where the cold air damming starts to take effect, and you can see back to the west, beginning to evaporative cool.
Oh yeah, it's so heavy out there in that direction.
Yep.
We're in the mid 30s, upper 30s in the Mohawk Valley right now. Of course, that temperature is going to be cutting down on some of those totals here. At least when it comes to snowfall. And again, I always want to keep emphasizing, it's not so much the amount of snow, it's a type of snow. It's going to be a sloppy, slushy mess of basically everything but the kitchen sink here today. So, these are the basic temperature. Let me go south a little bit. I want to see. Yeah,
there's those isolated pockets of colder air,
and you can really see. You got 40 in Morris, you got 33 Cooperstown.
Those are accurate readings.
Yeah,
and they're only they're 7 degrees across a very, very short distance, half a county.
And if I want to go to where is it? I believe this map right here. I'll just show you guys again our initial thoughts, which I mentioned it earlier this morning. I didn't want to really modify it too much to give you guys any confusion. I just kind of wanted to let you guys know what we're thinking so far. And personally, I think we're on the lower end of 3 to 6 inch range here for the snowfall today, but nonetheless, it's 3 inches or more of just wet, heavy snow. And
it's going to be one of those systems where it's not going to take a lot to pile up for it to have a high impact on travel, on cleaning your driveway, on cleaning your sidewalk. It's going to be sloppy. It's going to be slushy. It's going to be heavy. And it's going to just be that really sloppy, slushy snow. Even if we do whether we get 1 inch or 4, it's going to be a pain to move and to clean.
Yeah, so it's not that nice fluffy snow that's easy to shovel. This is that kind of stuff that, it makes great snowballs and snowmen.
That's for sure.
It doesn't really make great easy to shovel situations. I'm going to go back here to, actually what I might do is I'm going to load up our, load up our Nexus camera. I wanted to just show you guys again what we're looking at here. And again, it's foggy and, let's see, what do we have? What is can we load up Griffiths, the temperature right now? I want to see the dew point as well.
37.9 the last hourly. 37.9 over 29.
Dew point of 28.9. And then let me just go back. I'll load this back up again. Let me go to the profiler here. I wanted to see how much evaporative cooling we still have the rain, the elevated moisture is up in the 700 millibar range. You see that? It's still dry here, which might be cutting down on any impacts just yet. So like what you mentioned too with the virga going on.
Yes.
So the science behind the stuff here, guys. So there's a couple of things in the process here. So we have cold air damming, which will take place in the Mohawk Valley. But in order to get that air to cool down, you need evaporative cooling. Basically, you have these snowflakes. As they hit warmer air, they evaporate. And evaporation is a process that absorbs energy. So when it absorbs energy, It absorbs it from the air. Nonetheless, the temperature begins to cool. You get some heavier snowfall rates. Evaporative cooling will cause those temperatures to cool down, the air to saturate, and that'll in turn produce the snowfall.
It's why sometimes with these systems, we may see the precipitation onset be rainfall. And then as that evaporative cooling effect happens, we can see that transition from rain over to snow.
Yeah. So,
or even wintry mix.
Yeah. And that's what we're seeing right now. I mean, despite the fact that we got, fog near the surface, which, I mean, you've got this very narrow, we got the inversion. So we have the inversion here, which is, but it's well below anything else. So basically we have a saturated lower atmosphere, then a lot of dry air, and then a saturated atmosphere again. So we have a lot of different processes in the atmosphere right now that's causing what's going on right now. And
eventually, just as the fronts will meet, the moist portions of the atmosphere will meet. And once that happens, the precipitation will fully reach the ground. And we expect that to happen slowly over the next 30 to 60 minutes. It's already begun across areas to the southwest of Utica, areas northwest of Utica, not quite seeing precipitation yet.
Do we have reports here? I'm not sure if they popped up at all. Let's see. No reports here. So just looking at some other reports too on another app we have. So out in Syracuse, to give you guys an idea of what's going on, that's where all the reports are coming in. In West Syracuse, there's a report of ice pellets, and sleet. Then another report of mixed ice pellets and snow. In Central Syracuse, near Manlius, it's reported snow or gravel. And then out towards Sullivan, it's reported as rain. So there's a lot of stuff going on in a few spots
I
here.
got light rain on the hilltops of hilltops of Brookfield, which is a little surprising because that's an elevated area, but it's in that warmer zone, so that's not it's not too surprising. I do expect that area to transition over to wintry precipitation at some point. Snowing on the hills of New Hartford. It may be rain on the lower elevations, but the hills of New Hartford are seeing snow. I've gotten a couple reports of that. 37 with rain in Syracuse. Freezing rain, snow mix in Cedarville. Another report of snow on the hills of New Hartford. Which makes me think that Utica will start to see something fall soon. If it's precipitating in New Hartford, it's not far from Utica.
I kind of want to campaign the Mesonet to put a profiler in Utica. Could you imagine how beneficial that would be? So keep in mind, we can look at snapshots using LiDAR in the atmosphere, but the closest spots in Jordanville in western Onondaga County, and then after that it's Albany. So we've got this invisible area in the atmosphere above us. So we're just kind of estimating what the atmosphere is going to be like. But we'll try to campaign for one here because, again, this is an incredibly beneficial tool, albeit it is a very expensive tool. But
it saves lives, though.
It does. I mean, right now, we're talking, travel impacts that are yes, it's an unpredictable situation, but it's not a dire, life-threatening situation. In the summertime, that LiDAR would mean everything.
It really would.
Yeah.
It really would. And the Mesonet is something that was funded by New York State. We're one of only, at the time that our Mesonet was installed, we were one of only 2 states. I believe it's up to 4 to 6-ish now.
I remember there's Iowa, there's Florida.
I believe Iowa was third. Either Iowa or Oklahoma was first. I can't remember which of the two. And the other one shortly followed us. But
I'll go back to I have a Mesonet cameras here.
Yes, it's an incredible tool. I went to college with the kid who was tasked with installing all of these weather stations. He actually went to all of these locations in a Mesonet state truck, installed all of the sensors, and it's really, really helpful for us because we get a lot of live data from each of these locations across New York State. It's just that we would like a couple more profiler data where we can get full profiles of the entire vertical atmosphere, or we could get and entire what we refer to as SKUTs of our local atmosphere. But with that said, the Mesonet does a phenomenal job. They really do. They collect some phenomenal data for us. And without these sites, I know our jobs would be more difficult. So I appreciate what they have done. And I know that if they can get the funding, that they would more than happily oblige us.
Yeah, and this might be something I may even try to do this summertime too, kind of campaign for that, because I mean,
Nick Bazil, I hope I'm saying his last name right. He's the one that is in charge of the Mesonet right now, and I have conversed with him on Twitter a little bit. I can talk to him or X. I can talk to him on X, see what he has to say about that, because I know that he would be all for it. It's just a matter of him being able to obtain the authority and the funds.
Yeah, you can see here. I mean, on the cameras. I mean, you got we have access to live video or live camera feeds, I should say. Soil, surface temperature, wind.
For example, I'm sorry to cut you off. One thing that's useful. Sherburne right now, we can see on the camera that there's something wet on the camera. So
I haven't noticed that. How about that?
Yeah. Wow. So that's probably either a wintry mix or freezing precipitation. It could be something that's freezing to the camera. It's little things like that help us notice. The Nexus cam, if we get freezing rain within the city of Utica, we can notice precipitation falling there.
I think that's freezing rain. Yeah, well, look at the time lapse here. We have the cameras behind us, by the way, guys.
Yes, it looks like freezing rain. That's why I was bringing it up, because the freezing rain can stick to the camera, and Eric actually, I think, nearly just confirmed what.
Wait, watch this. I'm going to try a nice, cool technology. Come here. Oh, wait, no, I turned it off where I can't zoom in. But either way, let me make sure I'm not running over my coat jacket here.
You can see, you can watch this ice build up on the camera.
Can you see it in my zone field of view here, or is it too far that way?
I mean, you can see it.
Let me go move my head this way, maybe a little more. Oh, it turned off the tracking. That's why. All right. How about now? Can you see it?
Yep.
All right. Yeah.
So notice how the beginning of the frame, it starts clear. We can see the hills in the backdrop, and then towards the end of the loop, those hills start to become obscured, and that's because there is ice forming on the camera surface.
Elevation 1,156 feet.
That would also support the thinking. It's a high elevation Mesonet location. It's over 1,000 feet. That's typically a good frame of reference for our area.
Yep. Yeah, I definitely see that right there. We have Morrisville is at 1,200 feet. It's looking north, and Morrisville appears maybe not to be including that. Let me turn that off here so you guys can see the rest of us. So, we're just looking at some information right now, the live reports. Let's go back to the correlation coefficient once again, because we do have.
Yeah, let's take a look at that.
The latest updates here. Yeah, and I mean,
you see how it has slid into southern Herkimer a little bit? That's the only thing I'm noticing for change in location.
Yep, it has shifted a little bit more to the north. As you head down to German Flats, it's gone away. Out toward Ilion and Mohawk.
And Mohawk Valley is still going to hang on to the cold air.
Any reports? I'm not sure who's watching from Otsego County, Cooperstown, Milford, out toward Cobleskill and Schoharie County too.
That correlation coefficient over Cooperstown gives us the thinking that there is sleet mixing in.
Yes.
So if we could get any reports of that, of confirming that, we'd appreciate that. Norwich, that is a very heavy correlation coefficient sleet profile. That's basically exactly what we're looking for when it comes to extremely heavy sleet. That is some really impressive data coming in right there across Chenango County. If that is falling as 100% sleet, it is extremely heavy.
Yeah, and I will say this. I mean, what this can also tell us too, you notice near Binghamton itself, see how... Yeah, so if you guys look at the radar here, you can see how near Binghamton that brightness goes away. That tells you as the radar beam gets closer to the surface, it's no longer sleet. So down south in Binghamton, let's go back to...
It's just rain.
Yeah. So you can see here, yeah, just rain. It's elevated mixing taking place right now. And you can see it. I mean, basically where all those yellows are is where that sleet is. So we have a wintry mix right now. It's melting before it reaches the ground. But nonetheless, it is still impactful here as this system progresses. So let me use the radar up here. Let me see. Yeah, I mean,
still not showing any signs of mixing.
Yeah, we head up far enough in the atmosphere. I mean, we've got some banding here,
A little bit, yep.
but it's not heading farther north. So
that's on top of the lake too.
Yep. Look at that. So yeah, basically we've got some sleet elevated right now. Someone just said that Madison seems to be just rain. All right. Yeah. So also a report of rain in Oneonta. Big shout out to those of you letting us know in Otsego County. Huge.
All of you. Appreciate all of you.
So yes, we've got
still looking dry on the camera.
Looking pretty dry. Shout out my mom that mentioned that it's raining down near the Norwich area.
Shout out Miss Gage.
Yeah, shout out. We have a pretty interesting setup right now. I'm going to have us sign off for a little bit because we're going to be on News Channel 2 at noon. It's going to be on CBS Utica. The WKTV channel will be doing Olympic coverage. But again, you can watch us for a half hour on CBS Utica. And then if things look pretty dicey too, you can also join James, possibly me if I stay a little bit later, depending on how the situation looks.
Depending on how the next half hour goes.
Yep. So you can tune into us a little bit too. We'll have coverage throughout the day for you guys to make sure you're aware of what's going on.
Yes, I will 100% be live streaming again throughout the middle of the afternoon. I know Eric will be heading out shortly after the new news, unless things amplify or get dangerous up here on the hill. Obviously, Chief Meteorologist Bill Cardis will be in this evening, and I'll be tag teaming the event later tonight with him as well. But I will have the middle ground of the afternoon, and we will keep you up to date as this continues to slide in. But as of now, I believe our forecast is pretty much on track.
Yeah, no major shifts right now, which is the good news here. I mean, with how volatile this system could be, I think it's behaving as close to what we expected as possible. I
agree.
So, but anyways...
Thank you, everyone.
Yes. Thank you, guys. Stay safe out there, and we'll see you again either maybe on broadcast or maybe on live stream in a little bit. So have a good rest of your morning, everybody. Only maybe a few more minutes left of that.